This is the Stanford prison experiment, a controversial psychological prison experiment created to observe participants' behaviors when given roles of power. And here's why they had to end the experiment in just 6 days. Participants were recruited from an advertisement in the newspapers to male students who wanted to participate in a psychological study of prison life. 24 participants were chosen after assessments, and they randomly assigned the role of prisoners and prison guard. These guys were also promised about $120 a day in 2025, accounted for inflation, for this experiment. Not too bad. I mean, $120 a day to role play as prisoners and guards. But the experiment would take a horrifying turn, with some even faking trauma to get out of this experiment early. The volunteers selected to be guards were given uniforms designed specifically to de-individuate them, and they were instructed to prevent prisoners from escaping. At first, it was all just role-playing fun, but within hours, these guards began to enforce rules with real aggression. Sunglasses hid their eyes, uniforms masked their distinction, and soon they were barking orders at their peers who entered this experiment at the same time as them as equals. By day 2, rebellion broke out. The prisoners pushed back, shouting and barricading themselves in their cells. The guards retaliated with humiliation, forcing prisoners to do push-ups, stripping them, and denying them sleep. But here's the chilling part. Within less than a week, these young men, friends, classmates, and neighbors slipped into cruelty and submission as if the roles consumed their actual identities. The prisoners became passive, broken, and some even showing signs of trauma, and the guards became tyrants. The experiment was meant to last 2 weeks, but it was forced to end in just 6 days. However, there are critics of this experiment, calling it unscientific and even fraudulent. People have said that the guards were specifically asked to perform these harsh actions as a way to affirm the experiment's conclusion, turning it into more of a sick, immersive theater disguised as a scientific study. But whatever the case is, the fact remains that the guards did actually enforce these cruel punishments to their friends, whether they were told to do so or not. So perhaps the lesson here is that evil isn't always born. It can be created by systems, roles, and authority. The Stanford prison experiment does force us to ask, under the right conditions, what are we capable of? So next time you're in a position of authority, at work, in relationships, anywhere, it might be good to know that the line between kindness and cruelty may be thinner than we think.